everybody, and welcome to Friday Night in the Boot. I'm Steve Schneider along with Troy LaBeouf, and it really gets exciting when you have the games that will decide who goes to the Superdome to play for a state championship.
Yeah, this is the separating the men from the boys in these. I mean, a lot of good games. We had some blowouts. I was a little surprised at, so we got so many highlights to talk about tonight.
32 games played, and of course those 32 teams will play to pare it down to 16 teams that get the 8 championships in the Superdome. Let's start out. Everybody loves an underdog, right? Well, one of the lowest seeded underdogs was the Barbe Buccaneers. They had gone to West Monroe and won a upset. Back to Monroe this time to take on Neville. Of course, they feature Jordan Griffin. 15 touchdowns his last 3 games. Had 243 yards against West Monroe. First play of the game against the Neville Tigers. Trying to set the tone as Malik Grayson stops Griffin in his tracks, and boy, he had some Tigers company. Same possession, shovel pass to Griffin. Jacoby Collins flies in for the tackle. The ball squirts loose. Griffin was ruled down, but Barbe with 7 total yards in the first quarter. They're an offense that needs to get going to have any chance in this game, and that wasn't happening, averaging 55 points a game in a 6-game win streak. Neville's first possession, Jarvis Blackston Bulls for the 7-yard score, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. Neville was up 7-0, and then Parker Robinson to Zealand Young, 20-yard pitch and catch. Zealand's 59th reception, 12th TD. Tigers already up 13-0. Barbe forced to go to the air, not a good idea with North Carolina commit Juju Burns in the Tigers secondary. He comes down with a pick. Neville's defense held Barbe to 40 total yards in the first half. Total domination, silencing those Buccaneers and their offense. Still in the second quarter, Neville, a 4th down and 6. Robinson to Young, making it look easy. Keeps the drive alive. Blackston leaps in for the score. Neville up 20-0 at this point, and man, the stadium is rocking as the Tigers would deliver. Jamarian Roberson, the speedy back in the Tiger rotation. 44-yard touchdown right there. Tigers trying to put Barbe asleep as they're up 27-0. The fans loving this, and then still a pitch to Roberson. Neville up 34-0 at the half. This must be one of those blowouts you were surprised by. Running clock, 42-0. Neville goes on to win, and so the Tigers get the big victory there and end the Bucs season. 7-6 is Barbe's record after that.
Cinderella going home, but a great season by Barbe. Neville just flexed their muscles. Let's go to Division II Select. St. Charles and E.D. White. What a matchup between these two. You see St. Charles Catholic taking the field in Laplace. They're just so dominant. Here come the E.D. White Cardinals. Wayne Stein versus Kyle Lasang. First quarter action. Landry LeBlanc hits Skylar Edwards on the swing. He'll take it about 35 yards. That'll get St. Charles moving. They'll finally get him out of bounds. A drive would stall. 4th and short. Dax Prejean is met in the backfield by Nicholls State commitment Charles Dietrich of the Cardinals. He gets the big stop right there. Big number 7 will take his talents. He'll stay in town. Later in the first quarter, Landry LeBlanc finds Walker LeBlanc downfield for a nice game. Comets on the move. A few plays later, at the flip of the quarter, LeBlanc sneaks it in. Comets lead it 7-0.
Quite a push by the O-line right there on the goal line for sure.
Late first half, St. Charles with the ball inside their own 10. 3rd down, LeBlanc deep pass to Evan Dufour. Huge gain. They finally get him out of bounds right there. That would set up, which would be a 42-yard field goal. Impressive.
Drills it. Could have been 50.
10-0 at the half. Let's go to the scoreboard. St. Charles, you see they were going right into the half after that. 31-0. That's another score I was a little surprised at, but again, not surprised at the outcome.
Comets have had a huge bounce-back season after an off year a year ago. Now just one step from getting back to the Superdome. Wayne Stein's club certainly playing well because E.D. White is definitely a quality team to lose by that much. A little bit surprising. All right, we're just getting started. Friday Night in the Boot. We'll be back right after this.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it? Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Semifinal action tonight. Troy LaBeouf along with Steve Schneider. Big one here. How about a matchup of Ouachita Christian versus Riverside in the quarters? This seems more like a state championship matchup.
Definitely. It'll at least semifinals, but only one would get there. And Riverside, of course, the higher seed being the home team.
7 versus 10. Let's go down to reserve. A lot of good football in that area tonight. You see Coach leading them out. Welcome Ouachita Christian for the quarterfinal matchup. Take us to the first quarter. Eagles, Luke Vadrine, quarterback's been playing there forever. He finds Maddox Fitzhugh over the top. Eagles take an early 7-0 lead. That seemed like that would be the game right there, but no. This thing is going to turn around quickly for the Rebels. They'll get it to, they're going to get to work. They're going to get it to their big running back. See the fans going crazy right there. Everybody's got the camo on. Jaden Abuike takes off. He gets a huge gain in the Eagle territory. This guy had 240 yards last week. He is a big-time running back.
I think he might have had that much tonight from what I was seeing from the script.
The drive does stall for Rebels. Will Roch nails a field goal. The uprights to make it 7-3. Rebels still first quarter action. Going back to work. Their senior quarterback, Brock Bourgeois. Hendrick Boogie Johnson. Watch Boogie do some moves right here, but he puts it on the ground. It's recovered by Abram Parker. I mean, you look at these highlights, Steve, you think this is going to be a close game, right?
That's the way it feels.
Watch out for the Rebels. The Eagles struggling on offense. Obike continues to move the chains for the Rebels. That Rebel defense set great field position all night long.
Direct snap.
A few plays later out of the Wildcat Obike in the end zone, 10-3 Rebels. Rebels were not going to look back after this. Struggles continue.
Coach Roussel doesn't look comfortable yet.
No, but he's going to get there. He's going to watch his defense right here. That offense for Ouachita Christian on 4th down. Vadrine is stopped. Host the Rebels. They get the turnover on downs. And tell you who is not struggling. We've called him all night. They got him in. Jaden Abuike. 17-7 Rebels after that touchdown. Number 1. They win it in this one. Whew. Big win. Impressive, 38-14.
It felt like a low-scoring game, but it didn't turn out that way. And I'm telling you, this next game that we just did on the network tonight, Madison Prep, U-High, Division II Select. Tell you what, last time they played, it was 14-8. Last year when they played, it was 14-6. Fireworks, appropriate for that shot right there, because that's what we saw tonight. The Chargers on the board first. Check out Landon Johnson. Went behind his big offensive line, but in this case, the speed on the edge. 2-point conversion, 8-0, Madison Prep in front. U-High, though, answers. Ethan McGlynn would hook up with Lawson Dixon. Makes a man miss, takes it to the house, 56-yard score. Two-pointer was no good, so Madison Prep still led by an 8-6 score. But the Cubs defense would come up big. Next Chargers possession, DJ Coleman will step in front of this pass from Dylan Reed, picks it off and takes it all the way down to the 4-yard line from there. U-High would start the second quarter. Check out the wild play as McGlynn fumbles the ball, but somehow the great all-star Lamar Brown gets his paws on that football. It's a touchdown, and U-High is up 12-8.
Strong man wins.
I'll tell you, Madison Prep, though, great running game, especially for Harlem Turner, who would hide behind that big offensive line and then burst out. 60 yards for this score right here. They got another 2-point play and had a 16-12 lead in the second quarter. Cubs answer, big run by Sage Ingram, who used to be a Charger when he was a sophomore. goes 46 yards for his new team, a senior for the Cubs, 46 yards and a 19-16 lead. They also got a 27-yard field goal. Mason Melanson gave him a 22-16 lead at the break. Madison Prep back on the attack. Look at this running attack for Turner, breaking off another big run. And from there, his backfield mate, John Profit, 22 yards, breaking tackles all the way to the end zone.
Cash it in.
I'll tell you what, Chargers get a two-pointer and they lead 24-22. Madison Prep was back looking like they would gash him again. Turner inside, then goes outside, big gain down near the red zone. But flags would push them back, and then Reed is going to be stripped by number 51, Jordan Pinnock. The ULL commitment creates the turnover, and the recovery puts them in business. The Cubs tackling a 24-yard field goal by Melanson. They go back in front 25-24. Madison Prep would turn the football over again. Turner this time. Look at the effort by this guy, just fighting for yardage, but you know what happens sometimes? You keep going, that ball pops out, and sure enough, Lorenzo Cooper comes away with the recovery for the U-High Cubs. U-High goes back to Ingram. What a storyline for this young man. 48 yards, diving into the end zone for a touchdown against his former teammates in the ensuing kickoff. Tell you what, special teams is something U-High worked 40 minutes on at practice the other day when I went there, and this is why. You get that little squib kick, you steal a possession, but just like the Cubs stole one, MPA, Madison Prep, comes right back. Corbin Odell loses the handle on that football. Chargers have a chance. However, on a 4th and long, Reed finds a crease, 65 yards for the score. This is a 2-point game, 32-30. Remember, they played a 14-8 game the last time they met in week 9. Madison Prep didn't get the 2-point conversion, though, and then with about a minute to go, Reed is going to get stripped.
That was Lamar.
It was. It was. The top-rated player in the country at his position, the LSU commit. Couple of huge plays, including one that ices the game. 32-30. What a great high school football game full of twists and turns and emotion.
Get some water, Steve. That was great camera shots. Great camera shots. Let's go Mangum, East Feliciana, Division IV non-select. Mangum was always in it at the end. What a scene down there. The Dragons back in the quarterfinals, 3rd straight season. Got those nice home purple jerseys. East Feliciana features a great defense, giving up 18 points a game. Mangum is different, 47, first quarter. Dragons come on strong. Quarterback Colby Casey runs in for a touchdown. Big throw right here from Marcus Cannon to Edronic Goss. Now we're tied at 8 apiece. Coach Wilcher don't seem real happy, but the Dragons haven't lost steam. They've crawled their way back to the 6-yard line. Willie Randolph runs right through the Tiger defense, makes it 15-8. They're not done yet. Dragons get it at 15 yards to the end zone. Colby Casey runs it in. That makes it 21-8. Fans going crazy. East Feliciana trying to keep up. Javen Jackson receiving a perfect pass. Tigers do score again, make it 21-16. Dragons answer. Casey. Rayvon Bell, he's got it. Got both feet down, only needed one. Bumps us 28-16. Mangum able to keep up the energy the entire second half. Big defensive play. They will take down East Feliciana 49-16. That was a close game, but Mangum shows you why. They do it every single year.
It's Friday night in the booth. The teams that get to the semifinals, we got some heavyweights coming your way next. Catholic, Edna Carr, Zachary, and Central. Stay right there.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Booth. Steve Schneider, Troy LaBeouf, and we're going to go to Division I Select, a couple of heavyweights in a 4-5 matchup. Catholic High, higher seed, hosting the Trojans of Ashe out at Memorial Stadium tonight, and you see the Bears coming out. Great crowd on hand tonight, and things get started early as Carson Sellers in the red zone is picked off by Pearson Carmouche of the Bears. Black Hat D comes up with a big play. Second quarter, Ashe gets a turnover in Bears territory, and that turns into a field goal. The Trojans had another goal-to-go situation. The Bears continue to stand strong. And then Maxwell Maurer's second and goal tackle leading to an Ashe field goal. So the Bears are down 6-0. Third quarter, Catholic High down to 6-3, and the offense finds some rhythm. Turner Goldsmith deep to Jude Chamberlain with that one. Sets up a first and goal. Then it's Jaden Miles, and the Wildcat takes the direct snap in the junior into the end zone as the Bears surge in front by a score of 10-6. First play of the next drive, it's Sellers back for the Trojans to Jakiron Griffin. Griffin tries to pick up yardage, but he is going to get stripped. Harrison Kidder sticking his hand in there to rip it out. Liam Myers jumping on it. The Bears offense already back in the red zone, and a few plays later on a third and goal, Goldsmith fakes it to Justin Baptiste. Baptiste leaks out wide open for the touchdown reception. 16-6. They did miss the extra point, so it's a two-score game. Still in the third, Trojans trying to get some momentum back. Sellers, a screen, and Kidder flies in there for the pick. That would lead to a Goldsmith to Miles touchdown pass that made it 23-6. Catholic High's defense forced a punt. Offense drives to the goal line. Last play of the third quarter, Miles, his third touchdown of the game. That made it 30-6 as Catholic put up a 27-point third quarter on their way to a blowout. 44-6 was your final score as Catholic and those Flags are moving on to the semifinals. Now 10-2 on the year. 44-6. That's one that you didn't expect.
That was another one I talked about, just a blowout. I was surprised. Ashe had a great season, but Catholic flexed their muscle. Let's go to Division I non-select. How about Central versus Zachary? Turn the lights out around that area because nobody's at their house. Everybody's at the stadium tonight. Packed house at Wildcat Stadium. Number 5 versus number 13. Zachary defense. Man, it was Max Gassiot to Marcus Watson. First down. Move the sticks for Central. Zachary defense setting the tone. Jeremiah Smith back to tackle for a loss. Now it's fourth down. Brody Deal, you see it right there, makes a play. That'll set up fourth down. Broncos playing great. Brody Deal back to front, but it's a fake. He throws a dime to Tristan Rose. Huge first down and gain for the Wildcats. That's that hidden yardage. That sets up Central for this. Marvin Joseph keeps it, takes it in for a touchdown. Untouched, 7-0 Central. Zachary, they need to respond. Can they respond? Wildcats not backing down. Gassiot to Keith and Womack. He fights it in for a touchdown. Extra yardage. Did he get in? Yes, he does get in. 14-0 Central. Zachary trying to find the momentum. Michael Kirby over the middle. Outstanding player Christian Brooks has the football. Huge first down. They needed that when they were down 14-0 at the time. That led to this. Jeremy Patton takes it in for the score. That cuts it to 14-7. Zachary on the board. They still trail Central. Central try to respond. 4th down. Dylan Shellmeyer. Big time sack. Turnover on downs.
I felt that one sitting here.
That set up. When you play good defense, you set your offense. Patton with the rock. He fights for a first down. Broncos, again, not going anywhere. Patton, a rock again. He gets it in for the score. Knocks things up at 14 into the first half.
What a struggle.
Zachary scores at 11 seconds. They win this one 31-27. That'll set up against the winner of Ruston and Southside. Broncos do what they do. They're late in the playoffs.
The Brew Crew, and that's a defending state champion that will not be back in the Superdome in Coach Semino's Wildcats. All right, speaking of teams back in the Superdome, did St. James get there again? They were hosting the Tigers of Oak Grove, a name brand in high school football in the state of Louisiana. However, the Tigers, man, they were struggling in the first half. They fell down by a score of 43-13, looking to get something going in the second half to get back in the game. Bryson Reeves going to be sacked trying to pass to Monte Lamar with the honors. Then later in the third quarter, the Wildcats added their lead after a punt. Jawan Jackson going to look for his favorite target, Ja'Kai Villanova. This is a touchdown that puts him over the 3,000-yard mark on the year. That's incredible.
Give that man a scholarship.
50-13.
I don't care if he's 5'8".
Continued struggles for the Tigers as Reeves is going to be picked off this time. Myron Jasmine. And the Wildcats will add to that big lead as they continue in the second half. This time it's going to be Xavier Johnson who will find the end zone, and that would put St. James up by a score of 57-13. My goodness, Levanta Davis and his crew, they just come at you every single year when it comes playoff time.
Athletes at every level. That horn was rolling tonight. The train was rolling and the horns were rolling in the stand. They do it right at St. James.
Beautiful night for it. Plenty of good food and good football. All right, stay tuned. Much more coming up on Friday Night in the Boot.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
At Breck Golf Courses, we focus on the highest level of play. That means award-winning courses, state-of-the-art practice facilities, unique shot-making opportunities, and tournament-level playing experiences. With 2 championship courses located in the parish, Beaver Creek and Santa Maria courses make the perfect setting to test your golf skills. Find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
When looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Troy LaBeouf, Steve Schneider. We just saw that Catholic advanced by beating Ash. Who would they play? Well, there's only one that I know of, nationally ranked team in Louisiana, and Carr had to be a big favorite again to get into that semifinal matchup.
They did, but they got to play a good Evangel team. Let's see what happens in this one. And the Carr Cougars, at home taking on the Evangel Christian Eagles. First quarter, Eagles in their own end zone. They run a toss sweep. It's blown up for a safety. Cougars take a 2-0 lead. That defense is nasty. Then on the kickoff, Gregory Wilford with the return. He finds a lane through the middle. He'll take it the distance. When we show in those kickoff returns, something big's going to happen. His 4th return of the season. Core leads at 9-0. Cougars in the red zone. They fired up about that one. They hand it off to Trey Garrison. He cuts it left, finds plenty of room. Core rolling in this one. They lead at 15-0. Core would get back in the red zone again on the next drive. Garrison gets by 2 defenders. Got it in for the score. Cougars up 22-0. Eagles will respond. Demarius Evans takes it right, breaks 1 tackle, spins out of another, keeps his balance. Whew. A lot of missed tackles. Coaches is not going to be happy about that. 88 yards later, touchdown. Cuts the lead to 22-6. Cuts it to 16. But Carr would not be discouraged very long. John Johnson fakes the pass, keeps it himself. He walks it for 6. That puts him up 28-6 at the time, pinning the extra point. Let's go to the score. Coral is going to win it in this one, 49-20. They remain undefeated. They remain nationally ranked, and they will host Catholic next week.
Wow. All right, Will Delafield and North DeSoto trying to get back to the Dome. They were there as his freshman year. Now he's a senior, hosting the Demons of Franklinton. And the Griffins already up 7-0 first quarter. And running back Kenny Thomas will take the snap instead of Luke Delafield. Thomas flips to Delafield. Delafield finds Miller Warren for a big first down. Moments later, Delafield fakes the handoff, takes it in for the touchdown, and the Griffins are up 14-0. Ensuing Demons drive, they're facing a 4th down. Their quarterback, Jacob Crane, going to come through in the clutch right here, looking for Jaden Burkhalter, and finds him for a first down right there. That drive would end on a Raiden Rayborn score, and it was a 14-7 game. Ensuing Griffin drive, Delafield stepping back, a little bit of a problem there. It's intercepted by Dalton Freeman, setting up the Demons. A few plays later, Crane will hand off to Rayburn, his 2nd score in a matter of minutes. Missed PAT, but it's 14-13, so the Demons are hanging tight with the #1 seed. A little bit later, it's Delafield, and he will hand off to Kenny Thomas. He is gone. Touchdown that makes it a 22-13 victory after the 2-point try. But Franklinton will come back. Crane looking for Burkhalter again. That will go for a touchdown. We're back and forth like a racetrack. 22-20. North DeSoto still with a 2-point lead. Delafield going up top to Kai Johnson. That will work for a touchdown. 29-20, North DeSoto. Still not separating from Franklinton, who added a field goal to make it 29-23. Then Crane to Ricardo Burris for a touchdown. Franklinton will take the lead, 30-29. But Delafield and the Griffins have plenty of gas in the tank. He goes to Miller Warren for the touchdown. 37-30 at that point. I tell you what, Franklinton would tie it at 37, but North DeSoto pulls away and wins it. 51-37. So the Griffins, a perfect 12-0. One more step to take to get back to the Superdome.
4-year start at quarterback, Delafield. Let's take a look at Turlings Catholic. Turlings put up 55 last week in their win. Can they do it again against John Curtis? They welcome in the Patriots. Patriots up 14-0 when we pick up the action in the 3rd quarter. Rebel quarterback Alex Munoz trying to get it in. Terrence Julian flies in like a heat-seeking missile. Curtis drive. London Paget hits Derek Horton Jr. across the middle. 50-yard completion. No points came from it, so the score stayed 14-0. Rebels back on offense. Spencer Mesh takes the handoff. He picks up the first down, but he coughs it up.
Oh, no.
Recovered by that Patriot defense. Lane Lecron gets it, trying to hand it off there. Boy, he's got 2 hands on that football. He might turn it into a running back. Paget, he'll punch it in, 4 yards. That'll make it 21-0. Curtis, they're going to roll into the semifinals they're back to their winning ways. Impressive win over Teurlings Catholic, who's a really good football team.
So much impressive football, and we're only halfway done. Friday night in the boot coming right back at you. Stay tuned.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Welcome back in. Friday night in the boot, quarterfinal action. Teams advancing to the semifinals, and the Lions of Ouachita Parish trying to make their first trip back since 2021. They would need to get it done on the road again. Remember how great they looked last week against Destrehan. Now they're going back to a team they scrimmaged. That would be Parkway. And before Benji Lewis can blink, Ouachita would fall behind 8-0 on a fast tempo drive by Parkway. And that put the home team in front. The home crowd certainly enjoying it. Montrell Connor tries to answer, and eventually that is a presence known for Wydell Clark, making his presence known with a pick six off of Caleb Williams. Makes it 8-7, 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Defense finds its footing as Jeremy Jones is sacked for a loss. Lions march downfield, and it's Connor letting his big boys clear the path on the quarterback keeper. So the Lions, after a 56-yard drive, would lead it by a 14-8 score. MJ Dade would find pay dirt to make it 21-8, 1,500 yards rushing for him on the year. Almost halftime, 28 seconds to go. The Panthers down to the 5. One of the wildest plays you'll ever see. How did that football end up over there? Drayden Davis emerges for the touchdown. 21-16, Lions lead at the half with momentum. They're looking for it, and I'll tell you what, some penalties start to hurt them, and then as you see there, they punch it out, recovered in the end zone for the touchback. Big break for Ouachita, and then Clark in motion, jet sweep. Wydell finds the edge, not denied. That's a 27-yard touchdown that puts the Lions up 28-16, those two seniors, making it a 2-score lead headed to the fourth quarter. Another Connor fumble. Panthers march down the field. Williams, his favorite target. Gary Burney, 8-yard touchdown catch, 39th passing touchdown on the season, 28-22 with 4.5 to go. They recovered the onside kick. MJ Dade would run out the clock. He had 34 carries for 150 yards. A roughing the kicker penalty on Parkway leads to victory formation as Ouachita hangs on to win another road stunner, 28-22. Parkway ends the year 11-2. Ouachita's Lions are in the semifinals. Congratulations to Benji Lewis and his crew.
6-4 during the regular season. but they play in a tough territory. Let's go to Calvary and Jules Sumner. Quarterfinals of Division III Select. Very cold night in Kentwood. Fireworks, beautiful. Sumner came in undefeated. Calvary trying to win on the road over there. This game was a defensive battle. Handoff to Zarian Mills, who was running up about 20 yards. He gets caught up in a swarm of Jules Sumner Cowboys. Jamon Dyson would snatch the ball and immediately go down. Take a look at that student section getting excited. Calvary would immediately get this going past to Braylon Huglin for the first down. He's been playing there a long time, makes a lot of plays. 2 plays later, Hudson Price, he'll find Mills again in the flat, navigate his way to the end zone. It's 7-0, Cavaliers on the road. Sumner, he forced the punt. Luke Miller fight through multiple red jerseys. That'll give Calvary, he'll set up Calvary with great field position, breaking tackles, still not going down.
And I'm thinking the Cowboys run that, mostly run offense. They don't want to fall too far behind.
Mills, handoff, pass the defense, that'll move the chains, first down. Pushing the ball down the field, that's what Calvary likes to do. Hudson Price, he finds his guy, Huglin again, first down in the red zone. Finishing off the drive, it'll be Hudson Price to Mills, sneaks his way around. That makes it 14-0 Calvary. Looking to pull the upset on the road at Jules Sumner. Jules Sumner would have a chance to score some points before the half. Nice catch and run by Jamon Dyson, but unfortunately for the Cowboys,
Nice juke move there.
they would end short of the goal line. See right here, they're not going to get points before the half. The final score in this one, 14-7. That's a defensive battle. We hadn't seen a lot of those, but Calvary will advance. They go to 11-1. They'll advance to the semifinals of Division III Select.
They went into the hole and came out on the other side.
Who's Curtis going to play? We'll see right here. St. Aug versus Rummel. 2 outstanding programs. The higher seed won this matchup by 23 points last month. Purple Knights and the Raiders ready to run it back in Tad Gorman. Right off the bat, looking a lot like he did in October. Coolin pulls it in for the last second. He's running like he's trying to catch the lights at Christmas. Oaks right next door. 7-0 on the opening drive. Ensuing possession for Rummel. Daniel Singleton, he's got a guy. That's a purple jersey. Got to throw it to the other guys. Good return by Peyton Thomas. He gets the pick, sets it up at midfield. Too many Thanksgiving leftovers for the Raiders, perhaps. Coulon does it again. Miguel Whitley wins the slant. Another score, 14-0, St. Aug. Rummel still playing hard. Singleton to Mark Shesby Jr. is going to take off. Defense all by himself.
Look at those legs churning.
Man, breaking tackles. Gets up a first down. That'll move the chains. That'll lead to a field goal. Still in the first quarter. Purple Knights simply can't stop. Coulon and Derek Bennett off to the races, to the house. He finds all kind of Black Friday deals in the RPO game, 21-3. Raiders hit pay dirt again in the second quarter. Corian Hawkins doing his best. Drew Brees up and over. Cuts it to 21-10. It looks like they might make it a one-score game. Not so fast. Larry Johnson high points that ball. He gets the INT. Playing a great center field back there. Now we've got a controversial play to open the third. Mitchell Harris Jr. stood up about 25 yards on the kickoff. Forward progress clearly stopped for a good, but no whistle. Finally, the ball gets punched out. Seemed like the whistle should have blew right there. Refs come together. Turns out there was a clear and obvious recovery before the whistle. Ball back to St. George. Tough break for Rummel. Purple Knights turn into points. Christopher Dupois, huge momentum. He gets in the end zone. That's a big play, 28-10. Late in the fourth, subs are in to close it out. Jalen Noble, he makes the most of his opportunity, taking the quarterback keeper all the way to the crib. He calls ball game. St. Aug will be moving on. They beat Rummel for the second time in 7 weeks, and they do it in pretty comfortable fashion, 35-10. Whew, that sets up a good one in the semifinals.
Absolutely. All right, we still got much more to go here on Friday Night in the Boot. Be back right after this.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
No one ever thinks they'll be in this position. Buying medication online could put you here, or here, or here. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Medical professionals can't even tell the difference between a real pill and one that is fake. At least not until they do your autopsy. Don't take anything online that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Booth. Troy LaBeouf with Steve Snyder. How good of a football team has Belle Chase been this year?
They play a lot of good defense, I know that.
Well, Terry Miner said he's got something to say about that tonight with West Feliciana. Belle Chase ready for this battle. They take on West Feliciana tonight on the road again. The Cardinals come out on fire. First play from scrimmage, Amari Ambrose takes the edge. The quarterback keeper, 17 yards. That'll stop the clock, move the chains. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ambrose would take another quarterback keeper on the outside, picks up 20 there, trucks his way to the end zone. Cards take an early 7-0 lead. They were far from done. Next Belle Chase drive, Ambrose back to pass, pulls it down. Defender on skates and a juke, picks up another Cardinals first down. I'd say he's pretty good. A few plays later, Ambrose again, keeping it on the read option, fights his way through the line for another first down. A lot of Ambrose, but he's going to hand it off this time. He's sharing the sugar, handed to Dylan Carter. He goes on the outside, wins the race to the pylon. Cardinals up 14-0. Second quarter, West Feliciana trying to convert on 4th and 7. Incomplete pass on the marker. Receiver gets stood up by Chris Moses and Cruz LeBlanc. Turnover on downs at Belle Chase defense, like he just talked about, ensuing possession.
And their running game, man.
Yep, Dylan Carter gets the pitch, finds the crease, does get shoestring tackled. He's tripped up 35 yards. He's down to 13. On the very next play, Kai Wallace takes it on the jet sweep, gets the edge, score. Cardinals' third touchdown of the day. Belle Chase in the semifinals. This is a good football team. They advanced with a 39-16. No slouch in West Feliciana. They had a really good year in the Terry Miner.
Could Coach Spadafora and the Farmers get another upset on the road going into Kinder tonight to take on the Yellow Jackets? The Farmers trying to make two big surprises in a row. First quarter, they'll hand it off to Chance Hobson. He's going to take it all the way into the end zone, and Union Parish, surprise, jumps in front 7-0 into the first half. Isaiah Thomas going to keep it, convert the two-point play. No, they couldn't. So it's 7-6, Farmers in front. Overtime action. First play of overtime. Kinder has it. Thomas intercepted by Chance Hobson, the freshman, almost makes it all the way to the end zone, but he is caught from behind. The Yellow Jackets going to have to get a stop to stay alive, but they wouldn't get it as the Farmers hand off to Javon Henderson for the touchdown and the game. Union Parish does it again. The Farmers in overtime, 20-14, handing Kinder their first loss.
5-5 in the regular season. I'm sure they keep receipts, and everybody said they were done. They're never done. Let's take a look at it. Lake Charles College Prep versus Vanderbilt Catholic, two outstanding football teams. LCCP looking to make their preseason dream a reality. Step one, how you do that, Terry, is opening play of the night. David Thomas picks off Ethan Henney, charges it all the way to pay dirt. That's a pick six. Blazers not playing around, up 8-0 after the two-point conversion. Vanderbilt trying to make up ground early. Henney tries a deep ball, connects with a wide open William Ardwan, who takes it inside the 5. They're knocking on the door right there. The next play, Henney will call his own number. He's in the end zone. Terriers trail by 1. They get the extra point. Ensuing kickoff. It's Mr. 3000 himself, Aiden Carter with the rock. He's racing to grab the first plate at Thanksgiving. Carter brought the sauce. Vanderbilt would tie the game not long after that, making it 14-all at the break. I think they had some craziness that went down in this game, late in this game. You see a nice pass from Henne right here. Finds his open receiver. But they had some late fireworks in this one. There's Henne going back to work again. Beautiful ball, but it's picked off. Lake Charles College Prep gets the turnover. They're excited about that. Let's see if we can go to the final score in this one. That's not our score I was looking for. Pretty sure Vanderbilt was able to win this game by 2 points. They stopped the conversion late in this game.
We've got more action and scores to show you. Stay right there for more of Friday Night in the Boot right after this.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Running out of time, so let's get straight to the action. Lots of purple and gold with Lutcher meeting Iowa. Of course, the Bulldogs went on the road and got a upset. The Yellow Jackets honoring their voice, Mr. Wayne Dawson. Kickoff, Yellow Jackets returner Alex Barty returns it from his goal line, makes a man miss. That's all he takes. A 90-plus yard return for the touchdown. How do you like that start for the Yellow Jackets? Up 7 early. Bulldogs returner Ashton Stark Jr. says not so fast. Takes it from near his goal line. He goes untouched. How often do you ever see that? 2 kickoff returns to start a ball game. Now, midway through the first, Iowa's Lawson Broussard takes a snap to Cassie Lewis.
It's like
Stiff
Kevin Falk.
arms. That's right. In for the touchdown. Final score in this one is Lutcher. Could not come up with the answer for another upset. Iowa, great season, great win, 28-21.
Yep, Plaquemine versus Cecilia. A little revenge on the mind. Cecilia put Plaquemine out last year. Plaquemine Green Devils taking on the Cecilia Bulldogs. Coach is talking to him in the first quarter action. Number 9, the quarterback, Brennan Miles, passes incomplete to Tyron Henderson. Passes complete, I should say, to Tyron Henderson for a first down. Brennan Miles, he'll hand off to Spencer Collins Jr. Spencer Collins Jr. taking it to the end zone for the touchdown. Score was 7-0. Extra point was good. Cecilia with that high-powered offense. You can see number 9, Colin Dorr, toss it to Braylon Calais, but that one's on the ground. Dalen Jenkins, no gain for the Bulldogs. Go back to the quarterback, Brennan Miles for Plaquemine. He hands it off to Collins again. Collins is having a night. He's got his second touchdown. Extra point is good. Let's go to the final in this one. 47-28. The Green Devils get a little bit of revenge from last year.
How about Jeanneret? Great defense, great run game, hosting Logansport. Let's take you to the action in this one. And in the first quarter, tell you what, the home team playing some great ball. Aaron Tillman, hands off. Kobe Gage on the carry, up the left side, but Logansport ends up with the football on their possession. Keaton Kaysen looks to pass, intended for Caton Pickett, but it's picked by Jaden Ward. So they get a possession, and then Tillman with another handoff to Gage. This one's going to work even better than that first one. Not just a first down, but a touchdown. And Jeanneret steamrolls Logansport tonight. Final score in that one was 36-8.
Jenneret's got a lot of speed, ton of speed. Let's go to LCA versus Catholic of New Iberia. Let's quickly go to the action, taking on the state champions from last year. First quarter action, Caden Bellard takes the handoff. He's off to the races 55 yards later. Score, Braylon Walker scored to make it 7-0. They do knock him out of bounds. That made it 7-0. Panthers with the ball. Owen Morris up the gut. He's going to break loose. 50-yard run. Let's see if they can catch him. They finally do. Couple plays later, 4th and long. Morris hits Colin Edwards, breaks a tackle. He scores. Watch him catch it here and break a tackle with the balance right there. 22 yards out. We're all tied up. Let's go to the final frame here near the end. Bellard finds the end zone. That'll bring us to our final score, 49-14. Lafayette Christian. The train rolls. They go to 12-0 in the season.
Back with our final segment. Stay right there.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Final segment of the show, Troy and Steve. Let's go to the highlights. Loyola versus Shaw. Loyola's out there quarterback Brian Restovich hosting Archbishop Shaw. Let's go to Loyola right here. Open the game.
State champion.
Yep. Snap goes over Carson Ward's head. He recovers the ball. He's taken down by a flock of Eagles. Shaw playing great football, as they always do late in the playoffs. Eagles opening drive. Shaw is facing a 4th and long. Alan Shaw is going to tuck it and run. Makes a man miss. He'll move the chains for Shaw. This one was all Shaw in this game. Let's go to the final score. 38-7. They roll and head to the semifinals.
Shaw's trying to make back, so is Dunham. The Tigers playing uptown on the road as a 5 seed against the number 4 seed Newman Greenies, D3 Select. Newman on a 4th and 1 at their own 44. Jake Randall, the running back turned quarterback, tries to go for it, but Dunham's defense stands strong and stops him. It would lead to a 2-yard touchdown run by Trevor Heyman, and the Tigers go in front 7-0. Later on a possession, check out Elijah Haven, the top quarterback, five-star recruit gets the first down. Same drive, 4th and 2. Haven shows he's got some wheels. Another first down, and then Haven to the air. Going to connect with Chris Thomas as the Tigers took a 14-0 lead. They go on to win this one. Final score, 48-22 over the Greenies.
Sterlington versus Laurelville. They put up 73 points last week and then went over Donaldsonville. Sterlington did. Laurelville's having an outstanding season as well after a couple of early season losses. Points will continue early for the Panthers. First drive, handoff to Xavier Strohmeyer, bounces it outside. He'll run out the defense, open the scoring. Couple of minutes into the game. Let's take a look at the next highlight. Tigers into the red zone, botch handoff, ball hits the turf. Panthers pounce on it. Trey Birch comes away with it. Let's go to the final score in this one. All Sterlington, 44-6, Steve.
All right, got about a minute and a half. Let's take you through the brackets, some of the scores that you might not have caught up on yet, and where they're going to take these teams into the semifinal round. And let's put the first one up and kind of just navigate it, show you what we got.
Yeah, a lot of blowouts tonight. We thought we'd had a couple of quick scores that were close. Ruston Zachary, Ouachita Neville. It looks like that'll be your final four right there. That's four really good ones.
And Ruston's not in the final
Not yet. Not yet.
Although most people as the #1 seed expect to see them there.
Coach Bruin will have something to say about that.
Zachary might have something to say about that.
North DeSoto and Plaquemine, Belle Chase, and Iowa. North DeSoto's got quarterback Luke Delafield. I think he's really good.
All right, about a minute left to go.
Gina, Union Parish. Highest seed left, I think, is Union Parish. St. James and Sterling. That's going to be
Oh, my gosh. That's like a game in the Superdome.
There'll be nobody in downtown Vacherie. They'll all be in Sterlington next week. Haynesville, they do what they do. Generette, all the speed in the world. South Plax and Mangum is really another good semifinal.
And we're just speculating the #1 seeds are going to advance to the Dome on these graphics. And Ed Nakar, of all of them, probably the best speculation, but Catholic High gave them a whale of a game the last time, so we'll see that one.
That's a district final. That's all district teams right there.
Good stuff.
Let's go to the next one. St. Charles and U-High, that'll be an absolute war. Vanderbilt having a great season. Shaw, 7th seed. Good football teams.
I think all these brackets are fantastic. And that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thanks for watching Friday Night in the Booth.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
When looking for a college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.